Amazon's Rufus is here to stay. Love it or hate it, you must learn how to work with it if you want to set yourself up for long-term business success. That's why in today's video, we'll be covering how to optimize your Amazon listing so that Rufus can't resist it, just like a treat. Before we talk about what you need to do, it's important that we remember there's the way that Rufus works in theory, the way that Amazon intends for it to function, and then the way that it actually works currently, right now, living and breathing in the real world. And if you've watched my last video, which by the way, if you haven't, I highly recommend that you watch that either right now or immediately after this, because it has a lot of great information of how Rufus functions right now in the real world. And in that video, you learned that it might also be your biggest conversion villain, creating unnecessary friction and spoiling your sales potential, which obviously none of us, including Amazon, wants that, because Amazon is invested in helping make sales as quickly and effectively as possible. AI learns quickly, so just because Rufus isn't fully trained, it doesn't mean that you shouldn't be paying attention, because this is that time when, sure, adoption may be a little bit low, sure, it may be wonky, but the smart Amazon sellers that are thinking about it and that are optimizing for it today are the ones that are going to be ahead, especially as adoption increases and as its functionality improves. Optimizing for Rufus has a couple of very important fundamentals. First is customer-centric information, and the second being context. Who your customers are, how they'll use the product, what benefits it offers. If all of this is starting to sound a little bit familiar, then great. It means that perhaps you've subscribed to this channel and you've been paying attention to what I talk about frequently here, which is that the best content that speaks to the AI also speaks directly to the end user, the customer. So we're not just having to talk to a computer. We are wanting to create content that's going to help a real person understand what your product is, why it's so great, and why it's the perfect fit for them. And when you do that effectively, you are simultaneously giving Rufus or these other AI shopping assistants the information they need in the way that they want it in order to be able to better understand your product. So it's winning all around. So if you've been listening to me at all since 2018, when I started publicly talking about listing optimization, then you are likely a step ahead of everybody else. So good on you for this. But the thing is that I've been seeing all of this marketing buzz about optimizing for Rufus as if it's something totally revolutionary, as if this requires a whole new approach to Amazon listing optimization that has never ever been done before. You know, minds are exploding, the earth is quaking, massive changes are happening. And they kind of are. But I would also love to break it to you that most of it is BS. It's just the gurus trying to guru. And this isn't just my opinion. Oana, who gave me permission to not butcher her last name as I failed miserably in the past, Danny McMillan and Andrew Bell wrote a fascinating paper that digs deep into the Rufus patent. So we're going to be looking at actual data and information directly from a patent application from Amazon that is going to dispel a lot of myths and also give us some very tangible takeaways that we can use, because as you know, you must understand what you're working with if you want to be able to optimize for it effectively. I have to tell you, this article, it made me so happy because we now have unequivocal proof that keyword stuffing is a bad idea. By figuring out how it works in an ideal world, these three, Danny, Oana, and Andrew, are able to provide data-driven recommendations for how to optimize. So thank you to the three of them for their diligent, deep work, and thank you for helping me feel vindicated. I really appreciate it. So now let's dive into the article a bit to understand Rufus on a deeper level, and then from there, I will leave you with some takeaways and some things to consider as you evolve your listing optimization efforts to meet this new AI search assistant world that we have already entered. I was going to say entering into, but we're there, okay? So some of the things that really stood out to me were lexical matching versus semantic similarity. Traditional search ranks results based on exact keywords. Rufus goes deeper by understanding noun phrases and their meaning, even if the exact words aren't present. So this is where we are getting that more conclusive evidence that keyword stuffing and having all of these slight modifications of very similar phrases all crammed into a bullet point or another section of your listing is becoming less relevant because AI has the understanding and the ability to recognize that singular or plural or synonyms of words are all related. And so you are not needing to precisely use every single variation in order to help the AI best understand your product and who it's good for and how it can be used and all of the information that it needs in order to be able to serve that information and make the recommendation of your product to the end user. Inference and reasoning. So Rufus interprets questions and product features to make recommendations based on real world use cases. For example, what's the best running shoe for flat feet? Triggers suggestions for products with enhanced cushioning, even if the product description doesn't explicitly say flat feet. So this is taking things a step further. We're not just talking about similarities or, synonyms, for example, but okay, if somebody has a flat foot, then what are the considerations that they might be using to evaluate whether a shoe is going to be comfortable for them to use? So cushion could be one, arch support could be another. Maybe they want a wide toe bed so that they have that movement in their shoe. It could be all sorts of things. Now AI has the ability to go a little bit deeper and be able to translate that. Now, this is where you don't want to get lazy. You don't want to just hope or assume that the AI is going to fully understand that your product is great for flat feet just because it has cushion. If you know that somebody that has flat feet is going to really love your product, or if it is designed specifically for some of the concerns that someone who is flat-footed experiences, they're probably likely to have more significant foot pain when they're standing for long stretches of time, then you would want to make that really clear, not just because you want the AI to understand your product, but also because you want the customer to understand and feel confident and secure that your product is truly designed for them in mind. Now, another concept that they get into here that's really interesting and further building upon this departure from the more old-fashioned keyword stuffing technique that has been popular for such a long time is the idea of a noun phrase. So that essentially being a more highly specific description of something that has those modifiers that are going to take a very general idea and make it highly specific to a use case, to a customer, etc. So instead of just journal, optimizing with elements that refer to the material, the type, or the purpose. In many ways, these noun phrases that they talk about in this article are not that different from long tail keywords. They're modifiers that enhance the specificity of the product and the function it serves and the key benefits. So it's really honing in on details that are important to not only help describe the product, but then if we're talking about the fact that it has the contextual understanding, then you can see something like leather bound and recognize that this is a more premium style journal that may also be more elegant and beautiful to give as a gift, that it's something that has more of that keepsake quality to it rather than just a standard floppy paper bound journal that you have a million of them lying all over the house. Well, so this is also how humans more naturally process information. So if I'm wanting to read about a product, I don't want to read a string of keywords that says gift for writers, journal for note-taking, school journal, a bunch of separate phrases, each individually standing on its own, lumped all together, is not easy for me to comprehend. And fortunately, that's not how the AI is naturally going to be processing information either. Like, are you looking for a moisturizer for face, anti-aging treatment face hydrating cream, or anti-aging ultra hydrating face moisturizer? Which one flows more naturally? Which one makes more sense to you? Which one can you more easily wrap your mind around? That anti-aging hydrating, ultra hydrating face moisturizer is a clear winner. It's not stuffing keywords. And because of the way that this AI is able to engage with information, it's going to understand all of the information that it needs to, that maybe a more traditional search algorithm needed all of that exact matching in the past. So what I'm just so excited about is that Rufus is helping create better quality content for all of us. It's not that you want to ignore keywords now. It's just that you want to work with them differently. You want to be more selective with them. You want to really be thoughtful about what are those keywords that are highly relevant, that truly explain and align with my product. And you can now also separate yourself from the idea that you are needing to have every possible iteration of a keyword in front and center in your listing. Relax. You don't have to. A few other quotes that stood out to me. AI search is here to stay. Keywords aren't dead, but the way that we use them is changing. We need to think conversationally, contextually, and customer first. It's like music to my ears. As I've mentioned, the strategy that we're using moving forward to be considering Rufus and to make sure that Rufus fully understands our products so that it can recommend our products is to be much more aligned with how we would naturally write about a product versus trying to shove a bunch of awkward keyword phrases into it. No more. Leave that strategy behind. We don't want you. Bye-bye. As with all AI, Rufus is constantly learning and refining, and one of the ways that Rufus seems to do that is through user feedback in the form of clicks. So the system learns from customer clicks, refining its rankings to better reflect what shoppers find helpful. Before we get into how to optimize your Amazon listing for Rufus, let's see how Amazon is aspiring Rufus to function in the real world. It's definitely not there yet, but let's see in their minds where they're trying to head. The patent is a powerful framework that combines natural language processing, semantic analysis, and user behavior to create tailored product recommendations. With flexibility, adaptability, and user-focused design, sets the stage for a smarter, more intuitive way to connect users with the products they need. It's a clear roadmap for innovation in e-commerce, a transformative conversational AI that acts as a personal navigator and educator throughout the entire Amazon marketplace, seamlessly integrating into search results, scrolling experiences, product detail pages, and review sections. Rufus ensures products are not just found, but also felt and remembered, aligning relevance with both shopper intent and emotional resonance. By redefining e-commerce through multimodal, multidimensional optimization, Rufus sets a new standard for algorithmic precision and human connection. Like I said, this is aspirational. They're definitely not there yet, but it's good to know and have a sense of what they are aiming for. Now, let's get into the optimization. We're going to go through each section according to Danny, Awana, and Andrew, and then I'm also going to provide some additional suggestions for how you can apply these to your listing optimization efforts, or if you would like us to take it off your hands, please feel free to reach out in the form down below. We would love to hear from you, and we would love to help you in any way that we can. So for title optimization, they explain this as the descriptive noun phrase plus the secondary noun phrase, plus the qualifier. So in their example, they're using a knife set. So they're saying professional kitchen knife set plus chef's cooking collection plus with German steel blades. Now, if this feels confusing to you or you're not really sure where to even get these noun phrases and qualifiers as they're talking about, a really simple way to be able to do this, because as you remember, it's not that we're ignoring keywords, we're just working with them differently. So I would like for you to pull up your keyword research, for you to go through the search results, and for you to see what modifiers are within the different phrases that you're seeing. So in the case of chef's knife or chef's knife set or kitchen knife set, you're going to see a lot of the keywords having those same roots and then additional modifiers that go along with those. Those modifiers could relate to the material, to where they're made, to what their purpose is, to whether have some special design or safety feature, or maybe they're dishwasher safe. And then what you're going to do is you're going to take just the modifier part and you're going to add it on. So you're essentially creating your own mega long tail keyword that is freeing you from the need to repeat that same root keyword over and over again. So instead of saying Japanese knife set, kitchen knife set, steel blade, chef knife set, you can now combine all of that into Japanese chef knife set, because kitchen would be implied, or you use kitchen for something else. That's the whole concept of it. So I know that this language of noun phrase may seem confusing or a little bit overwhelming. So really thinking about the root phrase of a keyword versus the modifiers, or in other words, the information that makes it more specific to your product or a specific use case. And it's really that second piece that you are going to be wanting to make sure that you are expanding out instead of repeating that core phrase of chef's knife or whatever it is over and over and over again. That piece that is oftentimes what makes a title or bullets or any other part of your listing, frankly, a little bit off-putting and really shoves you more into keyword stuffing territory. So they talk about bullet point enhancement, lead each bullet with a strong noun phrase, connect features to benefits using compound noun phrases. Benefits and features, that is absolutely something that I 100% agree with. I mean, truly, there's so much of the way that Rufus is functioning that is helping to reinforce and encourage what is most important in marketing. And for so long on Amazon with listing optimization, there has been this conflict between the SEO and good marketing practices. And now that AI is entering the mix, there doesn't have to be that friction anymore, because we're not being so pulled by the SEO side that we are having to create awkward sentences or to minimize the benefits to make room for additional keywords. So this is really exciting. And the more that you can write your listing in a way that is going to appeal to customers, to give them the information that they need, simultaneously, the AI is going to be able to understand it as well. So this is great. This allows for more space and flexibility with brand development and really honing in on who you are and how you want to present your messaging in a way that is going to win over the customer and the AI. So then they talk about sort of a lot of the same in the description architecture. Start with key noun phrases, layer them throughout, build semantic connections between phrases. So really just writing good content that clearly explains your products with language that customers would be using to search for them. The image alt text structure, they talk about having a primary noun phrase, the action or use case, and the context. What's left out of here is making sure that all of that is clearly describing what is portrayed in the image, because ultimately the alt text isn't just a field for enhanced SEO or AI communication or what have you. It is also a tool used for screen readers for customers to make your product more accessible to more customers. So you want to make sure that they are able to fully comprehend your product page from top to bottom. The alt text helps them do that. And if you write it effectively, you can certainly achieve both of those needs simultaneously. Image content optimization, another, truly, as I go through this, it just makes me so excited, because it is really shifting the focus for how to optimize a listing to being a great piece of content from top to bottom and giving customers the information that they need. And the image content optimization, because AI can read images, meaning that if you put the text on the images, you are helping the AI understand that image more clearly, and you are helping your customers understand the messaging more clearly. So another just double win all around. It's like one of those rare cases when there's just all winners, and it's very exciting to me. They talk about creating a visual hierarchy of product benefits, really just very much best practices of good marketing. And now you are no longer having that tension. And then lastly, it's talking about multimodal content strategy, processing, product images, infographics, descriptive alt text, video optimization. It's not available yet, but will probably be very soon. And so in summary, they're saying to write descriptions that flow like natural speech, include common question answer patterns, use complete sentences rather than keyword stuffing, and address indirect use cases and problem-solving scenarios. So all of the gurus that are saying that you are now having to optimize your listings in totally different ways, they are probably the same people that were encouraging you to just stuff a bunch of keywords and make 500 character long bullets and unintelligible product pages just for the sake of speaking to the Amazon algorithm. And now they're needing to change their strategy. But for many others who have already been practicing these core key concepts of strong marketing writing, you are in a fantastic position to be able to be primed to take full advantage of Rufus as another product discovery tool as it becomes more widely adopted and as it functions more strongly. I know that keyword stuffing is a hard habit to break, especially if you've been an Amazon seller for a long time, but I believe in you. I really do. I believe that you're capable of doing it. It's going to feel weird, but it's so worth it. And because we know that context is key, let's go back to the very beginning. My Sound of Music mind is humming, a very good place to start, and go through my proven process on how to hone in on your target customer, because the more that you know them, the more those sales will start pouring in. Go ahead and click on that video. In the meantime, thank you so much for watching, and I'm really excited for you to take your listing optimization to the next level to be able to win over Rufus and more customers all in one swing. Bye.